The air hung heavy with the scent of parchment and dust. The library, a sanctuary of ancient knowledge, seemed to breathe with the whispers of the past. Dr. Elena Carter, her brow slick with sweat, brushed away centuries of debris from the ancient scroll. Each stroke of her brush revealed more of the delicate script, hidden for millennia beneath layers of time. Deep within the Ethiopian highlands, tucked away in a monastery older than time itself, destiny was being unearthed. The monastery, perched precariously on a mountainside, had guarded its secrets through countless generations. The silence of the cavernous library was broken only by the frantic scratching of Eleanor's notepad. Her mind raced to keep up with the revelations unfolding before her eyes. She traced the Aramaic script with trembling fingers, her heart pounding in her chest. The characters, though ancient, seemed to pulse with a life of their own, as if eager to share their secrets.
Could this be it? The culmination of years of research and countless hours spent in dusty archives. The lost Book of Enoch. The very thought sent a thrill through her, mingled with a sense of foreboding.
For years, whispers of this forbidden text had echoed in the hallowed halls of academia. Scholars debated its existence, its contents, and the implications of its discovery. Dismissed as myth and legend, the Book of Enoch was said to hold secrets long forgotten. Secrets that could rewrite history and challenge the very foundations of religious and historical understanding. Secrets of the Watchers, angels who descended from heaven to walk among men. These celestial beings, according to legend, imparted forbidden knowledge to humanity. Secrets of the Nephilim, their monstrous offspring who terrorized ancient civilizations. These giants, born of divine and human union, were said to possess incredible strength and knowledge. And now Eleanor held the key to unlocking those secrets. The weight of her discovery pressed down on her, both exhilarating and terrifying. As the late afternoon sun cast long shadows across the room, a particular passage caught Elena's eye. The light seemed to dance on the parchment, illuminating the words as if guiding her to their meaning. It described a ritual, a way to pierce the veil between worlds. The instructions were detailed, almost as if the writer had performed the ritual themselves. A shiver ran down her spine. The implications of such a ritual were staggering, and the potential consequences unimaginable. This was more than ancient history. It was a warning. A cautionary tale from the past, meant to guide or perhaps deter those who would dare to seek such knowledge.
Elena, do you realize what we're looking at? This changes everything. The voice of her colleague, Dr. Michael Harris, broke through her reverie, filled with a mix of excitement and concern.
The Book of Enoch was real. The words felt surreal as they left her lips, the culmination of a journey that had spanned continents and lifetimes. And it had just become a terrifying reality. The ancient text, once thought to be mere legend, now lay before them, its secrets ready to be unveiled, its warnings echoing through the ages.
Dr. Eleanor Carter was not driven by fame or fortune. Her motivations were far deeper, rooted in a profound sense of purpose and an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Her obsession with the Book of Enoch stemmed from a deep-seated need to understand the past. This ancient text, shrouded in mystery and legend, was said to hold secrets that could bridge the gap between the mortal and the divine. Orphaned at a young age, her only solace had been the ancient stories and myths that filled the library of her orphanage. These tales were her escape, her sanctuary, and they ignited a passion within her that would shape her entire life. These tales, passed down through generations, spoke of a time when gods and monsters walked the earth. They were more than just stories to Elena. They were a connection to a world that felt more real to her than the one she lived in. Elena dedicated her life to unraveling the mysteries of the past, earning her a reputation as a brilliant but unorthodox archaeologist. Her methods were unconventional, but her results were undeniable, and her peers both admired and questioned her relentless drive. She was a woman possessed, driven by an insatiable curiosity and an unwavering belief that the past held the key to the future. Her nights were spent poring over ancient texts, her days in the field, searching for clues that others had overlooked. Her quest for the Book of Enoch had taken her to the far corners of the globe, from the wind-swept deserts of Egypt, where she braved scorching heat and sandstorms, to the icy plains of the Arctic, where she faced freezing temperatures and treacherous ice. Each expedition was a testament to her determination and resilience. She had faced countless dead ends, her hopes dashed against the rocks of skepticism and disbelief. Many times she found herself questioning her own sanity. wondering if the Book of Enoch was nothing more than a myth. But Elena refused to give up. Her spirit was unbreakable, her resolve unshakable. She knew that every failure brought her one step closer to success. She knew, deep in her bones, that the Book of Enoch was out there, waiting to be found. It was a conviction that guided her every move, a beacon in the darkness of uncertainty. And she would be the one to find it. This was not just a professional goal, it was a personal mission, a quest that had become intertwined with her very identity. Elena's pursuit of the Book of Enoch was more than just an academic pursuit. It was deeply personal. The book represented a link to her past, a connection to the stories that had shaped her childhood and fueled her dreams. The cryptic symbols and ancient languages spoke to her soul, echoing with a familiarity that defied explanation. It was as if the book was calling to her, whispering secrets that only she could understand. It was as if some long dormant part of her was awakening. Each discovery, each new piece of the puzzle brought her closer to a truth that felt both ancient and eternal. Eleanor knew that her journey was far from over, but she also knew that she was on the right path. The Book of Enoch was out there, and she would stop at nothing to uncover its secrets. With every step, every challenge, Eleanor Carter moved closer to her destiny. The language of angels awaited her, and she was ready to listen. Unbeknownst to Eleanor and Samuel, their discovery had stirred something dark in the desolate corners of the earth. The sands of time had concealed many secrets, but some were never meant to be unearthed. As they delved deeper into the ancient ruins, they unknowingly awakened a force that had been dormant for millennia. In a realm of shadow and fire, a being of immense power felt the ancient words resonate across the void. This realm, a place of eternal torment and searing heat, was home to entities that thrived on chaos and destruction. Among them, one being stood out, his power unmatched and his hatred unquenchable. Azazel, the fallen angel, imprisoned for millennia for his transgressions against humanity, stirred from his slumber. His chains, forged by divine hands, had held him for eons. But the ancient words spoken by Elena and Samuel had weakened his bonds. His eyes, burning with an eternal fire, opened to the darkness of his prison. Cast out of heaven for sharing forbidden knowledge with mankind, Azazel had watched from the abyss as his creations, the Nephilim, were wiped from the face of the earth. These giants, born of the union between angels and humans, had once roamed the earth, their strength and knowledge unparalleled, but their existence had been deemed an abomination, and they were destroyed in a cataclysmic purge. He had sworn vengeance on humanity and its creator. The pain of his fall and the loss of his progeny had festered within him, turning his heart to stone. He dreamed of a world where he reigned supreme, where the knowledge he had shared would be used to dominate rather than enlighten. And now he sensed an opportunity to fulfill his oath. The ancient texts, long forgotten by most, held the key to his release. The Book of Enoch, with its cryptic writings and powerful incantations, was more than just a record of history. It was a guide to unlocking the very fabric of reality. The ritual described in the Book of Enoch was a double-edged sword. It held the promise of immense power, but it also carried the risk of unleashing horrors beyond comprehension. Those who sought to use it had to tread carefully, for one misstep could spell doom for all. It could unlock ancient knowledge and power, but it could also unleash unimaginable horrors upon the world. The runes and symbols, glowing with an otherworldly light, seemed to pulse with a life of their own. They whispered secrets to those who dared to listen, promising power but also hinting at the dangers that lay ahead. Azazel whispered through the dreams of his followers, his words slithering into their minds like venomous serpents. He spoke of power, of revenge, and of a world remade in his image. His followers, drawn to his dark promises, listened intently, their minds clouded by his insidious influence. He promised them power, vengeance, and a world free from the shackles of humanity. To them he was not a fallen angel but a savior, a beacon of hope in a world that had forsaken them. They gathered in secret, their numbers growing with each passing day, united by their shared desire for change. A group of occultists, drawn together by their shared fascination with the forbidden, stumbled upon Azazel's whispers. They were scholars, seekers of truth, and outcasts, each with their own reasons for delving into the dark arts. The whispers led them to ancient texts and hidden knowledge, guiding them towards a destiny they could scarcely comprehend. They saw in him a savior, a liberator, who would lead them to a new age of darkness. Their leader, a charismatic figure with a deep understanding of the occult, spoke of Azazel's promises with fervor. He painted a picture of a world where they would no longer be bound by the laws of man or the will of the divine. Blinded by their ambition and driven by their own twisted desires, they set about enacting the ritual that would shatter the barriers between worlds. The altar, adorned with ancient artifacts and symbols of power, became the focal point of their efforts. As they chanted the incantations, the air around them seemed to thicken, and a dark portal began to form, heralding the arrival of their dark savior. In the celestial realms far above the reach of human understanding, Gabriel, the angel of revelation, felt a disturbance in the cosmic balance. Once a revered warrior angel, Gabriel had fallen from grace centuries ago. Haunted by his past mistakes, he sought redemption for his sins. When news of the Book of Enoch's discovery and Azazel's awakening reached him, Gabriel knew he could no longer remain on the sidelines. He had to act, to atone for his past and protect humanity from the darkness that threatened to consume it.
Elena, you must understand the true nature of the threat you have unearthed. You have a vital role to play in the coming conflict.
Gabriel appeared before Elena in a vision, his form shifting and shimmering like the desert air. His voice, a symphony of thunder and silk, echoed in her mind. He revealed to her the true nature of the threat she had unearthed and the vital role she would play in the coming conflict. Elena was terrified, but Gabriel's words ignited a spark of determination within her. She was no longer just an archaeologist. She was a warrior, chosen to fight for the fate of humanity. With Gabriel as her guide and protector, Elena embarked on a perilous journey to gather allies and prepare for the coming storm.